Your Vote 2020. Today is the first day that voters in Riverside County can cast the ballot, but this year is certainly unlike any other. So what do voters need to know, and how are ballots being handled during the pandemic? From the Registrar of Voters. Rebecca, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
What is different this election year compared to previous ones in terms of the voting process?
So this election is quite different than it has been in the past, and most of that is due to the pandemic. So the governor has passed two executive orders. One is saying that we have to mail everybody a vote by mail ballot. So not just the permanent vote by mail voters, all registered voters in Riverside County will be mailed a vote by mail ballot. And then the second executive order established formulas for in-person voting. And so we have to have at least one in-person voting location for every 10,000 registered voters. So what that will look like here in Riverside County is we'll have 130 what we're calling voter assistance centers. Those will open up on Saturday, October 31st, and then they'll be open through Election Day. The first 3 days, they will be open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and then on Election Day, they're open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. We are encouraging voters to use their vote by mail ballot. So it has a postage paid return envelope. And we also have 80 drop-off locations that opened up today, and they'll be open through Election Day. If they choose not to return their vote by mail ballot through the USPS, they can go to one of the drop-off locations and drop it off. And then they could also drop it off at the voter assistance center. We're encouraging voters to use their vote by mail ballot because we don't want large crowds and long lines at the voter assistance centers. So if they never received their ballot, lost it, damaged it, made a mistake on it, or need in-person assistance, they need bilingual translations, or they need to use the audio voting equipment. Those are the type of voters that we would expect to see at the voter assistance centers. Also at the voter assistance centers, you're not assigned to a particular center. You could go to any of the 130. They'll have live connectivity to the voter registration database to look up your correct ballot.
I'm curious, how are voter assistance centers different than traditional voting places, and how are provisional ballots being handled?
Sure. So voter assistance centers they have live connectivity to the voter registration database, whereas at a polling place, we would assign 1,000 voters to a polling place, and then they have a printed paper roster that they look up the voters. At the voter assistance center, they have laptops and live connectivity, so any voter could go to any location. When you get to a voter assistance center, you'll have to fill out an application with your name, residence, address, date of birth, and signature. The poll workers will look you up, make sure you're registered correctly, and look to make sure you didn't return that vote by mail ballot. As long as those things check out, then they will go ahead and void that first ballot that was issued to you, and then issue you a new ballot there at the voter assistance center. Then you'll be given an activation code. Take that over to one of our voting systems, which is a tablet. It's a ballot marking device. You'll touch the screen to make your selections, and then that will print out onto an official paper ballot, and that ballot will get dropped into the ballot box. So the tablets do not record votes. It's just a ballot marking device that assists voters in making their selections. So that's the process at the voter assistance center.